At closing this conference, this event, the summit, I am Fuad Murad, member of the advisory board of this event, and I work at the Esquire in Beirut. I had the honor of facilitating one session, so I have two hats, advisory board member and session facilitator. That's why I could probably make this round. I'm going to give the floor to each one of the moderators in the session, seeking from them a few minutes, and honestly we're going to cut it for less than 5 minutes. Key messages, and not minutes of what happened in the session. What are the key messages from each one of the session? If you introduce yourself, the headline or title of your session, and what is the key message? And after we hear the key messages from these sessions, I'm going to give the floor to His Excellency Sheikh Nadeem Jubair to comment on what he heard from these key messages, to see if they met the expectations in planning this event, and maybe give us an idea. And I'm going to start by my colleague all the way. Please introduce yourself, the title of the session, and the key message from your discussion.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yusuf Asfour, the Chief Information Officer at the UB, and also the President of CIO Lebanon Association. Our session was about digital identity, in particular at banks, and how technologies such as blockchains could address some of the issues. The key issues that came up were basically in order to make banking reachable to everyone, and in order to do that in a way that is safe from fraud and safe both the banks and the individuals, there's a lot of personal information that needs to be collected, and digital identity information is a big part of that. The current process is very cumbersome, but also it requires collection of at least 32 pieces of data, and it also requires the signing of tens and tens of pages of paper just to get a $6,000 loan. So the idea was, and by collecting all this data, you expose people to security and privacy issues. So the discussion was about, could you use blockchain technology to reduce the risk there? And the answer is yes. The idea of using blockchain is to build a chain of trust. So the first time you go to a bank, you get validated by that bank, but if you want to go to another bank, then instead of passing the same documents to the next bank, what you can do is you can build a chain of trust so that the first bank can look at the second bank, and the second bank says, oh, these documents have been validated, I trust this bank, therefore I don't need to go through the process again. By doing so, you end up doing two things. One, the first time you apply, it might take you half an hour or 3 hours. The next time you apply, it'll take you 6 seconds. And also, you're not sharing the same private information over and over again, so you're protecting the privacy as well. So the discussion about that, well, how do we make this happen? And there were two key areas. One is we need legislation that protects privacy, but also legislation that recognizes electronic information, etc. And also we need, there was also discussion about whether this needs to be centralized or decentralized. The answer is, there's a debate right now. Blockchain technology allows you to do both, but the tendency is to think that if we start centralized as a first step, but the issues with centralized is again the issues of privacy and issues.
Thank you very much. Christine, we just heard the session, but give us the key messages from you.
I'm good at that, alhamdulillah. With whatever I was able to digest. However, so if we look at the ecosystem and the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Lebanon, we see that 3 arms of it are quite developed, which are the financial aspect of it, due to a lot of funding and the 331 circular and many angel investors and VCs. The other thing we were tackling really was related to the environment where the entrepreneurs thrive, and we are quite advanced on this, and we heard a lot of successes from that end. and the other one is human capital, and the focus is more on human capital. But this is where, the human capital in this ecosystem is the main driver of everything that happens around it. It has to focus on the ideas that cater to the needs of the market. The money is not the means, it is the end that is the outcome of hard work and thinking from a business perspective and traction and sustainability. What else did we talk about? We also discussed,
Was there a specific call, a specific request?
Not really in that sense, but where what came out from the talk that we had, there's a lot of legislation and infrastructure that needs to be worked on. What needs to be done was not covered in that panel per se, because these were only about inspiring entrepreneurs and things like that. I'm sure they were covered in other panels. Thank you.
I think when we integrate these key messages and the reports of these sessions, we're going to have a pretty complete picture, from cultural messages to educational messages to security and blockchain and then legislation, of course. Please, in the next session, introduce yourself and the key messages from your group.
Well, the panel's title was Creating a Sustainable Competitive Advantage by Using AI Technology and Big Data. The panel outruled the idea of a dark side of AI. We live in a data era and AI is here. We should embrace it and not fear it. Many local businesses already use AI and big data to get competitive advantages. Karim, idea to life, and Agritech were only examples. All businesses, the recommendations, all businesses should push for digitalization and digital transformation, which requires an up-down approach from the companies. It's a political decision, and the panel also recommends for government support to promote digitalization on the national level.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so I think you know me already. I'm Tafiq Joubran, media person, TV host for the past 25 years. 17 years of them specialized in technology and entrepreneurship. So the panel of today was, we just finished it like a couple of hours, municipalities and technology, how municipalities are using the emerging technology to help citizens, Lebanese citizens. Unfortunately, being a mayor, أكون رئيس بلدية منصب كثير حلو كنا بالعربي بس they're struggling it seems. And the 5 points I can really summarize these points. First, we heard a lot of promises. They're working on stuff, which is true. I'm not attacking them. Second, the main work that has been done till now with the municipalities, collecting data and GIS, Geographic Information Systems. The third point, the big struggle with the laws. And what I was surprised coming, the smaller municipalities has more freedom to move and work more than the bigger ones because of the laws. القوانين اللي بتأيد مثلا مدينة بيروت أو مدينة بيروت أو مدينة طرابلس. The other struggle, the fifth point, is lack of continuity. ما في استمرارية، يعني بيجي رئيس بلدية بوقف الاشياء اللي عملوها رئيس بلدية قبل، هذا كثير سيء. شفنا البيج اكزامبل بطرابلس لما ترك رئيس بلدية عمل اب وابلكيشنز وسيرفيسز وقفوا لما صار في رئيس بلدية جديد. هلا التوصية اللي كثير كلهم حكوا فيها اللي حتساعد it helps a lot to make things move forward بالmunicipalities using technology, the decentralization. لما بصير في لا مركزية كاملة بصير عندهم all the freedom to work on their projects and goals. Thank you. Dr. Martin, بدعيك أنا تحكي عن البانل تبعك.
That's okay. So let me quickly summarize a few points from the panel. And the panel was entitled Lebanese government role towards maximizing fourth industrial revolution benefits and lowering threats. How is Lebanon modernizing its legislation? So a theme that was probably common denominator from all the other sessions. And I was honored to facilitate Mas Mahuli to remind, and most probably people were not here in the opening, Her Excellency الوزير عناية عز الدين Sheikh Nadim Jmail, and he is consistent and persistent with his push, so he's with us today. And Wazir Nicolas Ahnawi, and Yasmina Rufail من رئاسة الحكومة. So the key messages really were built on few recent developments. One, the Lebanese law number 81, which is called Electronic Transaction and Personal Data. That's a law that is now in effect only 5 days ago, on January 19. That was a key announcement. The other thing was the Lebanese Internet Governance Forum. So for the ecosystem, there is something called Lebanese Governance Internet Governance Forum, which is Hawkamat al-Internet. And a lot of things we're complaining about can really be resolved in that platform, in the governance of the Internet. The third thing that was mentioned was the Lebanese Cybersecurity Center, associated with the digital strategies for Lebanon. And last but not least was the Lebanon Economic Vision 2018, which is the Ministry of Economy and Trade study, or known in Lebanon as the McKinsey study for Lebanon Future. And inside that study, there were a lot of projects related to the digital and knowledge economy. 5 points that probably could serve as practical follow-up items. We need for public awareness campaigns, at various levels and platforms for the implementation consequences of this new law of electronic transaction and personal data. لأنه غامض، الناس ما تعرف كيف بدها تطبقه، from judges to lawyers to individuals and institutions. 2. A call to advocate for the proper design and implementation of the e-government projects, recognizing the islands we have and integrating them in a holistic way. 3. Celebrate and partner with young groups for winning the digital race in Lebanon, using the new Lebanon Economic Vision. Inside the Economic Vision study of McKinsey, there were many projects studied to the level of number of employees and skills needed, the investment needed, the market, everything. I really invite you to browse that study and take from it what you want. 4. Promote at various levels and in different platforms the Internet Governance Forum and Cybersecurity Center as protecting the public rights and interest in the digital society. 5, and last, organize awareness and discussion how to implement, targeting different chapters and groups from the Future Vision Economic Strategy, because we have in Lebanon something called the Socio-Economic Council, المجلس الاقتصادي الاجتماعي بلبنان. And this council asked the government to spend money on planning. So they are an advisory council, and we'd like to work with them on that. This was my session, but there was another session from Professor Fuad Zablik, who led a panel and he sent key messages from his panel. I will just highlight a few points. They're calling for formalized events like hackathon, forum, labs, and such summit. They are calling for platform and legislation awareness and integration. They are pushing for further internship opportunities for students, so they're keen on students' role and opportunities in the private and public sector. At last, he was calling for data to be used to measure the success factor of sustainable development. So we know a lot of entrepreneurs here talk about data analytics, big data, AI. Use your skills and your tools to serve the Sustainable Development Goals measurement. That was the goal of their committee. There are other 2 sessions that they did not report, but we promised to Nasreen to integrate them and have them in the final report that will be shared and posted on the website. Can I commit to that? It will be posted on the digital format. Before we give the final word and follow up hope to the chairman of IFP, Mr. Alderon, I want to give the floor for a wrap-up of the advisory board Sheikh Nadeem Jumail will speak on our behalf to see how this session and its reporting and its activities, all this event, did it meet our expectations and objectives, and where are we going in the future? Thank you.
Thank you for this very good roundup. I think for the session that happened in the last 3 days. First, I would really like to thank Mr. Albert for organizing all this amazing conference. I would like to thank also Nisreen. I know that did an amazing job, and all of you and all of the attendants. As member of the advisory board, I would like just to mention 2 things. First, that we are committed to meet again and to continue to put a kind of new strategy and a new vision for the next conferences, for the next summit, and it will be built on all what we've heard and where do we think we need to go, and how can we reach this new objectives. And I believe also, on the second note, that as Member of Parliament, we have a lot to do to follow up and to create a sustainable legal framework for all your ambition. I know that the laws in Lebanon are very, very caduc. I know that the laws of Lebanon are not adapted to new technology for the digital system, and we're trying a lot to work on this. This morning I had in the parliament, as a president of the IT committee, I had the Lebanese cluster, software cluster, and we were discussing about what can improve, how can we create a specific company that is related to digital and to technology. Where does a startup start, and when does it become a real company? What are the advantages, the incentives that we can give them in order to grow in a prosperous environment? In addition to this, I think we need to work on the market also. And today, unfortunately, the private sector or even the public sector is not encouraging the Lebanese companies and the Lebanese startup and the Lebanese software company to develop their aptitude by choosing them to be one of the candidates or one of the chosen companies. We are mainly going to external companies. We're going to foreign companies, to maybe some people that have more knowledge or more employees or better services. That we need to emphasize also on the fact that we have perfect and amazing companies in Lebanon that we can work and strengthen. For all this, I'm saying all this because I'm committed, since I headed the committee of the IT in Parliament, I'm committed to draft and draw new vision and new laws for all the sector, specifically in forming a legal framework concerning cybersecurity, the cybersecurity law that has to protect all the Lebanese digital system. Second, concerning the data protection, and then the companies. I think we have a lot to do. There is, and it has been said in my panel, there is also a data center that is coming. There is a lot of investment that the government is trying to put in the digital system. We're here as Member of Parliament to work and to upgrade altogether the system. So you're really invited. Also, I need you to be part of this big workshop that we're doing continually and that we will have to work for the next few years. I really invite you to join forces, to give us your opinion, to give us your remarks, all what you need to have in order for us as much as we can to provide with the best services, at least from a legal point of view. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. If just I can mention two things that I would love to work on for the future is much more education and training and research for the sector, because what we're doing is private initiatives based on, okay, I have an idea, let's develop it, but we're not very much investing in training, in research, in education for the youth. Second point that I would like to mention also, it's true that we have injected more than $400 million in the startup sector, but at the end, it's not only about doing, like some were saying, an application for an admission, but what is important today is to really create new content and to create content for the future. Future is AI, future is digital, future is values, because without values we cannot go anywhere. So we need to invest in new values. We can create AI, but this AI, if we don't framework it into new values that are based on transparency, based on accessibility for the people, I don't really believe that it can be a push for the future. So what we need to do is really to invest in a lot of values, a lot of training and content, not only copying, but really be creative on content. So thank you.
Thank you very much. يعني بدي اشكر الليدرشيب تبع مستر عبير عون على نحن بنعرف انه بروجكت لبنان ل 30 سنه وبنعرف انه البوتشو وبنعرف انه الانشيتيفز كثيره ما متعلقه اكثر بهذا الدومين، وانا سعيد جدا انه بالرغم من انه عمري شوي مختلف عن عمره، اكبر شوي، انا اكبر منه شوي. هلا I'm gonna call Albert to see how he's gonna benefit, and together we're gonna join forces to benefit من كل هودي الاكشن بلان وفولو اب ايتمز. مع مين we're gonna do follow up ولوين رايحين، وبتمنى نعمل 30 سنه من سمتس كمان معك.
all in starting Prime Minister for his auspices, to MEA to give us this beautiful venue, and to the advisory board, especially Sheikh Nadeem, who's with us today. His presence has been really big value, and to His Excellency Nicola Nahas, to Dr. Fuad Murad, who has given all his time, and to AUB through Dr. Qaisi and the other members. I also thank all the panelists and moderators for giving their time, and of course I thank all the audience and delegates who took, the interest to join us for 2.5 days. I saw really top leaders in the sector of sustainable transformation, digital transformation, and as IFP we're committed to grow this baby from a first event, like we did with other events in the region. Some of the events we did in Saudi, in Dubai, in Egypt, and Qatar, and Lebanon. Some of them, we're doing the 35th year of events. It is a commitment, and we will take your recommendations and learning path, what we've learned from this one, to the Prime Ministry to get their auspices for the next event, to the Parliament through the help of our friends in Parliament, and to the industry itself. We will also try to go to the economic and social presidency, our Majlis الاجتماعي الاقتصادي, as we think we can, try to lobby with them to have a lot of the government bodies and officials to embrace this digital transformation and adoption in our country. I'm not going to take more time of you. I thank the team, everybody at IFP and the help of the MEA venue through Dr. Nazaret Nicolian, my friend Ms. Bohsari Zena, who gave us all the support, and I hope to see you soon in our next SDE summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.